Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me in day two, whether you're watching me live or you're gonna catch up with these videos later on. This is day two of three-day challenges. This is all about helping you to understand and start to tame your inner critic and bring kindness to yourself for a happier and healthier life. Just a quick recap. So, despite the fact that it's just a 3-day challenge, this really covers all the fundamentals. So, yesterday was our first day, and we took a first step in starting to tame our inner critic by becoming aware of it. After all, we cannot change what we are not aware of. So, yesterday we experienced a meditation practice which allowed us to gain awareness of our inner critic. And we also learned that we breathe when our inner critic rears its head, because this is to create a calm and clear space in our body and mind so that we can respond rather than act out of habit. Because these habits and reactions are the ones that leads us to engage with and believe in our inner critic. And this engagement gives it a bigger voice and power over us. So, yesterday we start to learn our inner critic, listen to it, and today we're going to go one step further. So, today is all about we need to notice our inner critic for what it is. Our inner critic, in essence, is simply a thought and nothing more. And this realization is going to give you huge power over your inner critic. And a little later, I will share with you a meditation practice to help you notice your inner critic as a thought. Notice it, watch it come and go, and not without engaging with it. So it is a thought, it is not a truth. And I will share with you a breathwork practice which is going to help you to feel safe and grounded when your inner critic is raising its voice, trying to shake your belief in yourself and making you feel down. And tomorrow is the day that we are going to learn how to bring self-kindness into our lives, and we are going to do two practices, one breath work and one meditation practice. It is really amazing, isn't it? In 3 short days, we are going to cover 6 different practices, 3 breath work and 3 mindfulness. So, let's talk about our inner critic as a thought. I really like this because this really gives a lot of power to us. What it is, in essence, if you just strip it to the basics, your inner critic is a thought. Just like a thought which says, I would like to have a sandwich for lunch, or another thought which says, I didn't enjoy the movie that I watched last night. Inner critic is a thought that for a long time we choose to believe in and we gave lots of power over us. But it's a thought that we can easily take that power away. And just like any thoughts, some of them are random, some of them are relevant to our circumstances. At any given moment, we have so many thoughts going through our mind. And remember, the thoughts that we give attention to creates the emotions that we feel. A kind thought generates an uplifting mode, while inner critic makes us feel down, anxious, or even depressed. And most of us identify ourselves with those thoughts, especially inner critic, and they impact how we live. They become our truth. So, what do? I'm going to show you a different perspective of helping you to notice and let go of your thoughts and therefore your inner critic, rather than becoming captive to them, becoming affected by them. So, let's have a look at this cartoon. So imagine that in this cartoon, the person standing on the bridge is you. And bridge is a metaphor for meditation that we are going to do shortly. And the train passing underneath is your train of thoughts. And as you can see, each open wagon has self-critical thoughts in them. And these are what your inner critic is saying to us on a daily basis. So you can't stop these train of thoughts, or you can't try to cover these wagons, these thoughts, because it is all about when you do, you start to get engaged with those thoughts and you become giving power to them. The way to relate to these is simply notice the wagons as they come into the view and let them go. We don't think about them, we don't try to push away, we don't try to wish them away, we just observe them, just like we observe these wagons. Because what we normally do is when we see a thought, we just jump into the wagon, get involved with it. In other words, we become that thought, we believe in it. And we start to see the world through the lens of that thought. And this really takes us away from the present moment. So, what we are saying here now is every time a self critical thought that pops into your mind, almost bring this cartoon to your mind and imagine that you're simply observing that thought without jumping into the wagon. And this is the way to observe it. Just notice it as a thought, notice your inner critic as a thought, and say to yourself, okay, I'm just simply going to observe it. I don't have to engage with it, and I'm just going to let it go and let the wagons come and go one by one. That is it. It sounds very easy, but with the practice, trust me, it will be one of the most powerful things that you can do, because it is going to give you power over whatever thought is going through your mind, whatever thought that you don't want to affect your life. So, we are going to do a short meditation practice and just give it a go. Let's see how it feels. But always come back to that cartoon. You are simply observing your thought. That is it. And your inner critic is simply a thought, nothing more. Okay, so let's continue. So we are gonna start the meditation. So next, let's do this meditation. The key focus of our meditation is we are gonna notice our thought, our inner critic, as what it is. It is essentially a thought. It is not a fact. You can practice this meditation lying down or sitting. Ideally, seated position would be better because it would be nice to have a comfortable yet alert state. So once you're ready, I encourage you to close your eyes or softly drop your gaze. And as long as you can hear me, that is all you need. Let's close your eyes or drop your gaze on the floor in front of you. And let's just quickly scan through your whole body and noticing the feelings and sensations that might be present. Just quickly scan through your body from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. And if you notice any pockets of tension, gently massage that point or stretch your body. Just release any tension. For now, let's turn your attention to your breathing and feel the movement of your body as you breathe in and out. Ever so gentle sway in the body as you're breathing in and out. And for now, there's nothing to change in the breath. You're simply observing the breath, paying attention to each inhale and exhale, and paying attention to how the body moves as you inhale and exhale. And as you're settling in, feeling comfortable, now bring to mind a time when you were hard on yourself, judging yourself, and simply recall the words of your inner critic without any judgment or blame. Just recall a time where you were hard on yourself. And as you're noticing those thoughts, the words of your inner critic, can you simply observe them and let go of them and come back to your breathing? So we are approaching the thoughts, the words of your inner critic as a mental event. You're just observing and then observing them and let them go. Perhaps you only notice the thoughts, the voice of your inner critic once you're in it. Once you're engaging with it, it is okay too. See if you can let go of those thoughts, the voices, the words of your inner critic, and come back to your breathing. So every time you're letting go of that thought and coming back to your breathing, you're exercising a choice. Choice of noticing your inner critic as a thought, and choice of coming back to the safety of your breathing. And this way, you're not running away from your thought, you're not fighting with it, you're not wishing it away. You're simply putting a distance between you and the unhelpful, critical thought. And for a little while, stay with the sensations of your breathing, your inhale and exhale, and see if you're able to notice the next thought of your inner critic arising in your mind. Perhaps it is saying, this practice is pointless, I don't need this, I am not good at this. Whatever arises, remember, it is okay. For now, continue to notice these thoughts. Observe them as they come and let them go. Coming back to your breath again and again. It is okay if your mind is wandering, drifting to something else, another thought, another thing that you need to do later on. It is okay. As best as you can, every time come back to your breath, observing your breath. Then turn your attention to observing the thoughts, the voices of the inner critic rising up. And remember, just like the person in the cartoon, you're observing those thoughts from a distance. You're watching them come and go. Wonderful. Now, as we are approaching the end of the practice, let's start to move your fingers and toes. Let's bring a little bit of energy into the body. Let's take a deep, relaxing inhale and let go with a relaxing sigh. Feeling your body, feeling settled. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope you enjoyed this mini practice. It may be feeling hard right now. It may be feeling this doesn't really feel very powerful, but trust me, there's so much power in it. This little practice is giving you power over noticing the thought, your inner critic, and choosing, make a conscious decision to come back to your breath or whatever you're choosing to follow. So it takes away the power from your inner critic. So next I want to share with you a breathing exercise. It's one of my favorites. It's really wonderful, belly breathing. So when we feel calm, relaxed, when we feel safe, our breath is slower and flows deeper into our body, towards our belly. What the inner critic does is it really makes us feel unsafe. We are too harsh on ourselves. We are just nitpicking on everything. So at those times where you feel a little bit shaken, stressed, or a little bit anxious with the thoughts that are going through your mind, if you're unable to go into meditation straight away, do this practice. Give yourself the calm, safe space, and once you're ready, you can continue to meditate and approach your self-critic as a thought. So belly breathing is really, really easy. For now, I really encourage you to have a seated position. It's going to be a rather short practice. It is all about helping you to feel the sense of safety. I am in my body, I am safe. So if you're ready, find a comfortable position, feet on the floor. And when you're ready, close your eyes or drop your gaze on the floor in front of you. Beautiful. Before we do anything else, let's take a moment to allow the body to settle down and relax. Relax your shoulders and allow them to drop. Relax your face muscles, your forehead, your cheeks, mouth, jaw, and even your tongue, and allow them to let go. Let go of any tension. Let's take a few moments to observe your natural breath, the way that it flows every day. In, out, in, out. Allow it to flow naturally without trying to change anything. And now I encourage you to place one or both hands on your belly, above the belly button. Allow your hands gently rest on your belly. Feel that warm connection between your hand and your body. Feel that sense of safety, sense of protection. And continue to breathe as you do every day. Now place all your attention on your hand that rests on your belly. As you do, allow your breath to start to flow a little bit slower, a little bit deeper, deeper towards the belly. And notice the gentle expansion as you inhale. So your belly is expanding and rising on inhale and falling on exhale. So you're literally feeling the movement of your breath in your belly, right underneath your hands. Continue to observe your breathing and observe that movement, gentle movement of your breath in your belly. How wonderful it is that your breath is percolating, echoing through your body. Continue to feel the warmth of your hand as you're placing them on your belly and noticing the movement of the breath. Your belly is rising on inhale and falling on exhale. This could be ever so gentle movement. It is okay. We would like to connect to our breath, connect to ever so gentle movement, and that is perfect. We don't need to work hard. We don't need to push our breath. We don't need to do anything right now. We are simply feeling the gentle connection between our hand and our body. And we are observing the movement of the breath in our belly. Our belly rising on inhale and falling on exhale. As you're breathing here, just notice that sense of comfort, sense of safety. Everything is as it meant to be right now, and you don't need to do anything else. Wonderful. Now you can relax your hands let them rest on your lap. Start to move your fingers and toes as we are coming to the end of our practice. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to the space that you are in. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this mini breathing practice. I love it. There's no effort involved. We are simply noticing the connection in our body and noticing our breath within our body. It is so comforting. And comfort is what we need when our inner critic is trying to shake us out of that sense of comfort. So let's just do a quick recap of today. I hope you're really enjoying this as much as I do. So today we took the second step, day 2 of 3 today. And today we noticed what our inner critic is. It is in essence simply a thought. It is nothing to believe in. There is no more truth to it. We learn a meditation practice which helps us to see inner critic as a thought, and it allowed us to observe it from a distance. And the breathing practice, the belly breathing that we have done, helped us to feel comfortable, feel safe again. So how do we really take this to your daily life? When it comes to meditation, breathwork, just like any other endeavor in life, practice is the key. I really encourage you to make these daily part of your life. So I am going to send these videos to you so you can just kind of keep watching them and keep practice them. So in terms of breath work, belly breathing, ideally you would like to do once or more often if you can. And in terms of the meditation, again, at least once or as needed. So if you want to do a few more times meditation, you can do that. And these kind of don't need to be a long practices. So a couple of minutes of breath work, a couple of minutes of meditation is really enough. So for the first few days, you may just watch my videos, and once you get the hang of it, you can just kind of try to implement them as often as you can. And I would like to add one more thing. Journaling is such a big understated, such a understated kind of a practice to do. I love it. I really encourage you to get into the habit of journaling daily. It is something that I do for many years, and I see the huge benefits of it. At the very least, every day I write down 3 things that I'm grateful about myself, my life, my friends, and I also include my successes. What did I achieve? The things that I have done well. So, and journaling, the gratitude journaling is a wonderful self-kindness exercise that, I really encourage you to incorporate into your life. So these are everything that I wanted to explain today. So these are my contact details, by the way. If you have any questions, you can always come back to me. I will stop the share and I will stop the our recording.